And without further ado, I'll give my friend Paul A. from Salina.
Thank you, Gary T. Hi, everybody. I'm Paul. I'm an alcoholic.
Hey, Paul.
I hate this. This is my second lead, and Gary asked me to do it, and I can't tell Gary no for anything. My sobriety date is April 24th, 2022, day after Desiree's birthday, so she got to spend her birthday throwing me in jail.
You're welcome.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You did a good job.
I don't, I haven't gave her that kind of birthday present for 3 years now, so it's all been good. But 3 years, you guys have kept me sober. I met you guys as soon as I got out of treatment in jail, and I love and thank all you guys for that. You guys helped me grow up, as we was talking about earlier today. I grew up on the west side of Columbus. My whole life was pretty crazy. I had two brothers and 3 sisters. My dad was single. He had us alone, and him and my mother got divorced when I was pretty young. And Dad always told me she wasn't in our life a whole bunch. And Dad always told me she had a drinking problem. My dad don't drink. He's a great old man. I respect that guy with everything, and I did a lot to mess up my relationship with him. And I am building it back now. It's awesome. You can get my family back. I lost my family at that time too. My dad plays bass in a band, and ever since I can remember, he's always rock and roll. All them old guys still to this day play. They play out. They got gigs and such. But I got to experience drinking early because his band members would drink, and there was always liquor around the house. So I would steal beers, me and my brothers, and it was pretty easy to get liquor. But I can't remember. It really started when I was in high school. Not really high school, probably middle school. We'd run around Columbus, and act wild. Dad was a railroader, so he worked a lot, and we was home alone a lot. And I was the oldest, so I was in charge of keeping track of me and my brothers. And it was easy to get liquor at them times. We could go in the store and get it. Wasn't no biggie there in Columbus. We'd still heard a lot of you guys say the MD 2020. That was a good one. Good one for me. It's easy to fit in your britches when you went into the stores. We drank a lot. I ran around a lot drinking. I had problems with it. A lot. My dad, my family, everybody told me that. And I didn't finish school. I didn't graduate high school. I got kicked out. They actually called the police on me. And my dad said, if you ain't gonna go to school, you're gonna work. And so, it's 15. I got a job and was working, and I thought I was cool and took care of myself, and still drinking. Me and buddies would go out all the time drinking a lot. And Dad would, he'd hate it. When I was about 17, 16, 17, I don't know, he kicked me out at that time because I was a drunken fool and tried to fight my dad. And so I got kicked out and went to live with a buddy who lived down in the hilltop, not too far. Well, we was in Galloway at the time, but still the drinking continued. Didn't really learn much. I thought I could control it. I met my daughter's mom, and she had gotten pregnant, and she's probably worse off than I am. She had a drinking problem as well. She was me and her split up because she was into coke, and I didn't want no part of that. That was strictly liquor, a little bit of weed. But when she got pregnant, took my daughter when she was 2 or 3, something, I can't remember, it's something, but I had full custody, and I thought, I was growing up then. I worked all the time. I didn't have an issue. I had a problem holding jobs, but I didn't have an issue getting them. So that was my excuse, I guess, that, I go to work, I can have a drink, and that poor little girl's had to deal with me being drunk dad the whole time, and trying to make up for that now, and I think I'm doing too much for it. I gotta let her grow up. She's 31 years old, I still gotta let her grow up. But I thought, I was good. So I had a house and had my daughter and I had a job. And it just kept going and drinking just like every day. I get off work, and get drunk and all the fun stuff. And then it got to where I was drinking a lot. My dad didn't want me around going to the shows anymore. Because that was a big thing in my family. Is go see Wargon's his band name. See them play. And, we'd have all the bars we knew and everybody. So I'd get drinks. I'd get in a lot of fights and a lot of disorderly. And Dad just got tired of it and I wasn't allowed. And I'd still show up anyways. And still a lot of mess. And Dad wouldn't talk to me or nothing. I wasn't allowed out the house. Got really bad. My brother was cool. He could probably be in this room, but I haven't talked to him in a while. But my sisters didn't want nothing to do with me either. I started losing everything, and I didn't have nothing. I had 5 DUIs, so it was hard to keep a car and keep a license and to work anymore. But I somehow managed to do it. Eventually, I was to the point where I didn't have nowhere to go or nothing, but I always had the liquor with me. There's a little bent or park I used to stay at because I didn't have nowhere to go. There's friends I would stay at their house and their porches, and it got pretty bad to the point. And then finally, my sisters and actually Desi had got a hold of me and talking me to go into treatment and had an issue. And, of course, I never had an issue. I didn't have no problem with drinking. I just had a problem getting it. And I didn't do it for a while. I just still went around, just getting my drunk on and going from place to place, doing the goofy stuff I did. Then finally, I ran out of places to go and ran out of ways to get my liquor. And so I called my sister up and got into treatment. And I went there and I completed it. It was 28 days, 30 days, 28, 30, something. I can't remember. And I got out, and about a month I was good, or 2, 3, I don't know, I can't remember. And so everybody's happy with me and started talking to me as staying at Dad's. Then whatever it was, okay, I'm fine. I set everybody up. Now I'm good. So I was hanging out with my brother, and we started drinking again. And at this time, I come out here to Wapak to help Desi run her business. That's something I used to do, and I was pretty good at it. That's actually where I got my first DUI. I worked for a company, and I was what they call a boss team. And they sent me out of town and in a company vehicle and up in Michigan, up in Detroit. And I went to the bars having fun, and first DUI up there in a company vehicle, so I get shit canned. I come out to help Desi out with that to run her business because she had lost her husband. It's I don't know. It's her husband was my brother, and I was at that funeral and family and everybody there. Me and my other brothers went out and drank some more. And that time, Desi got upset, and I went back to Columbus, Newark actually, and continued drinking a little bit, looking around, and everything was cool. Desi needed help, so she come back, and I told Desi I'm all right. I can help you, and I helped her around for I don't know, a month or so, a couple. But I was still down there drinking my liquor and acting like Desi didn't know about it. And she had finally caught me. Well, I don't know if she caught me finally, but she caught me with a bottle of my vodka. And I don't know if she was just cool or she was just saying, all right, whatever, I just need somebody to work. But it just went and I still drank. Eventually, I got to the point where I didn't want to work no more. And she had tried to let the guy that was helping me, who was very didn't have as much experience as me, I guess. And he fucked it up, so Desi ended up selling a little earlier than she wanted. So I still with Desi, still hiding my liquor, bouncing around to these little Wapak and lineman jobs. I was good at what I did. I thought I was. But I think I'm a pretty funny guy, and I'm really not. You know, I used to, one of the jobs that I had that I really liked was building houses. I did that for an architect out in Newark. And we would build his houses, and then we'd maintain when we wasn't building his properties. And I know Kevin's been on job site, but them job sites, and especially them concrete guys, they like to drink too. That's a job that I messed up there as well. But I did all right there. That the architect gave me a place to live, because at that time I was bouncing again, and told him I had to leave because I didn't have nowhere to stay. And he said, well, you take one of his apartments. He gave me an apartment, charged me $200 a month. All I had to do was show up to work every day, and if somebody needed something fixed at their house or at their apartment, you know, I could do it after hours because I was right there. But I really liked that building, and that's something again that the liquor took over, and I had to have that more than I had to drink. My boss, Bob, not the architect, the guy I worked with, it taught me a lot. He got sick of it too, and his wife drank more than me, I think. But she wasn't me. But he got to the point where he couldn't deal with it, and then me not showing up to work or coming into work half drunk wasn't helping none either. So eventually I lost that. That, I don't know, I guess I'm going back and forth there. But that's, you know, kind of where I wound up down in Wapak. I'm not a good talker. I'm the pretty one. Desi's the talker. I wish Desi could have did the lead for me, because I don't like. I love all you guys. I just don't want to stand up and talk in front of you guys, and I don't say a whole lot. You know, I go to meetings, and when Desi's with me or not, we'll always talk. And I say, you know, I wanted to say something that time, but I didn't want to be stupid or sound stupid. And of course, Desi's my pick me up. Nothing you say is stupid. You say what you lived through and what you feel and what you experienced. And she was telling me that on the way here when I said I don't want to go. I even said, you know what? I don't have to go if I go out and have a drink. Desi didn't like that too much. I told you I wasn't funny. But again, I don't know where I was building the houses. You know, I did love that, and I got out of my treatments. I went to 3 treatments, and the first couple wasn't. I mean, they did. You know, I think everybody said it. You learn all the technical, the book stuff about liquor, but them counselors and stuff don't. They're not alcoholics. And I did all that, and I had He was actually my first sponsor. Gary T is my second sponsor. And he told me, I called him the last time I went to treatment, and he said, Paul, I don't know, them little 30-day things are good for you. Maybe I ought to do something a little longer. And so well, this is after I had gotten out of jail. I know I'm bouncing around, honey. But after I got out of jail, I found this place because I was sitting at his hotel that I had stayed at because, again, I drove Desi crazy and couldn't deal with my drinking, so I spent what little bit of money I had on a hotel so I could drink. And then drink and drive over to Desi and drive her crazy and end up in jail. I did that a lot. I ended up in jail one time. It was in Franklin County. I don't know how much you guys know about that. They call it the workhouse, the old gladiator school down there. I woke up. I went to see my dad's band. Yeah, I don't remember anything about it. I just know I woke up in jail. I couldn't see nothing because I had been maced. And here's somebody saying he's going to take my breakfast and stuff. It's the stupidest jail I've ever been. Oh, I mean, all of them stupid. That one's a little scary. But after sitting there, I could finally see. I see myself, this big swollen face, all black and blue, and I don't know what the hell happened. I just know I'm in jail. And I obviously got my ass kicked. Then my sister told me that I had punched somebody and he beat the hell out of me. It's what happened. I don't know why I jumped on that, but it just. But sitting in that, or getting back to the Woodhaven, I had found after I talked to Dave, was his name, a sponsor. Great old man. I don't know if as good as Gary T, but he was good and told me to go to a little longer. And I found the Woodhaven sitting in the hotel. Told Desi I'm going to try it again. Desi, the great person that she is, helped me out with everything. Helped me get down there somewhat, because I got stuck the first time I couldn't get in, and she wouldn't come and get me. Because she had an engagement she couldn't miss out. But it was a 90-day. 3 months down there, I lived in Dayton. Never been there in my life. Drove through it, and I lived down there at this place. And this place sucked. The food sucked. The guys in there, so it's kind of like being in jail, but a little bit more freedom, and not as much fighting. But I learned a lot. And my counselor at this time was an alcoholic. Had 3 levels. I had another. It was a recovering drug addict. I mean, they had some experience, and it was good. And I had a lot of time to think in there, and a lot of time to visit my life. Where I am, you guys probably, I'm not young. Just turned 53 in April, and I can't do what I used to do anymore. I can't go to jail. I can't. This last time in Wapak, I got lucky. Wapak is kind of like a treatment center. It's not really a jail. I mean, what kind of jail you could order pizza on? It's just jail. It was a Wapak resort. But it was funny. That's what I told Dad. It was like they're ordering pizza from CJ's. This is jail. But I did that 90-day, and like I said, I learned a lot in there as well. I mean, I already knew. The other 2 treatments taught me everything that they had taught me. It's just this time I had some alcoholics, some drug. I had some experience in there, and I actually met some pretty good guys in there that I used to keep in touch with. And last I heard that they went back out, which sucked. But I didn't. I'm still here. I didn't drink today so far, and I'm doing all right. And then I got out of that 90 days and had to start to clean my life back up, or try to start my life over, I should say. So I had to go to court for that last DUI I got. It was number 5 for me. The judge told me I, I thought I was going to be sitting in jail for a while. He only gave me 30 days. And like I said, it was Wapak. It wasn't. But it still sucks. It's time. And jail time is a lot slower than lifetime. So that's another 30 days of sitting and thinking, what the hell am I going to do? I lost my dad. I lost my sisters. I lost my brother. I lost my daughter. And I'm where I've been my whole life, in and out of jail. Around Columbus, about every county around there, I probably hit a jail. It's not something I'm proud of. It's something I did, and it sucked. And I don't like that experience. And all this stuff's going through my head, and I'm like, I can't fight these young boys in here no more. I can't sit in this place no more. I can't do that no more. And I loved drinking. I loved it. Because as I think we all say, is I was way better looking. I was way funnier. I met so many women, and I could dance my ass off when I'm drunk. And I'm the baddest guy out there. And that's what liquor did for me. Took everything away. The thing I learned in one of my counselors is I did hold back. I didn't share my feelings, which I don't now. I try, but I don't. I didn't. Everything's bottled up, and I wouldn't say nothing. I wouldn't express myself. I wouldn't be who I am. I would just give and take and resent, hate, and all that stuff was fine when I drank. And it just got me a mess. It got my daughter, I feel, she's 30, she'll be 32 in June. And I hate myself for what she had to go through. I mean, her mom, she didn't have no relationship with her mom until she graduated high school. And of course, I was drunk at the graduation, and I kind of cussed her mom and her boyfriend out like, you shouldn't be here doing all this stupid stuff. And my daughter finally got a relationship with her. My daughter went to get her one time. This is the last time I know she talked to her mom, because her mom was drunk, and my daughter's trying to help because she's a little sweetheart, and her mom hit her. And my daughter pulled off, dropped her off at the gas station, and left her. She said, Dad, I don't remember where she's at. I said, honey, you don't worry about where she's at. You get home. But I could do that because I was sober when she told me that. But that little girl, I still feel like I owe her. I feel like I need to do something, and she tells me every single day that you're doing it for me right now, Dad. You're doing it for me right now. Just keep going. On my April 24th, my daughter had texted me and told me, send me a long text. Dad, I'm so proud of you. I'm so glad. It's my sobriety date. I almost cried about it. Just keep doing it, Dad. And she tells me that all the time. You just keep staying sober. I want my kids to see Grandpa for real. Not drunk, Dad. I want them to see Grandpa. And I try that. Even they're little brats and they drive me crazy. I love them to death. But they never see me drunk. and just keep staying sober for that. Not just that, just for me. Because I don't want to be, as much as I loved it, I loved liquor. I ain't gonna lie, I love it. And there's, to this day, I think I was talking to Gary and Leo a couple weeks ago how everything just annoyed me. Get to where everything just annoyed me. Desi, and this is where I don't talk all the time and share my feeling is, Desi's like, what's bug? I can tell nothing, all this and that. It just annoyed me. And, it did. The drink sounds really good right now, and I know I can't. I know what happens if I do, and I know where I'd be when I can't do it. I just, I don't, I don't know. It just, I don't know where I was going, but I know where I'm going to get. I don't, just the liquor. Everything bugged me that day. That's why I hate talking, because I forget what I'm saying. It's that old age setting in before it should be. But anyway, that's being with you guys has really taught me a lot. I've learned a lot from every single person in here. You guys, this group out here is, I've been to a couple other. We went to like Indian Lake and Bell Fountain and a few spots. But you guys is my family. You guys, my first meeting was the beginners meeting. That's when I met Gary T and Jason, the first two people I talked to, Gary T and Jason. And every other meeting I went to, I seen that old man there, and I was comfy. As soon as I seen him, I was comfortable. He just made me feel comfy. That beginners meeting, Jay sat there about an hour and talked to me, and I was comfortable. And every meeting I went to, I got to know you guys more and more, and I just felt great. And I would hit, every night I would go to a meeting, except for Saturday. That's it at home. Because I was still doing, I took a year from working after I got out of treatment in jail, and I didn't do nothing. I did IOP, and I did a lot of Zoom counseling with them up at Brightview in Lima. And so I just sat and focused on what I needed to do, what was wrong with me. And I didn't do nothing. And it was great. I learned a lot about myself. I learned that I'm not a good speaker. I learned that liquor, as much as I loved it, that I can't have it. Don't do nothing for me. It just never did nothing for me. Except give me a headache. And I learned that me and Desi need to retire and travel. Because that was the best. Well, we didn't do nothing but hit coffee shops and shopping and bull crap. I learned a lot. I learned that I need to grow up. And I slowly started doing that. I watch a lot of Judge Judy. She helped me grow up. Price is Right, Drew Carey helped me grow up. I sat there and then finally I said, Desiree, okay, I'm feeling okay. Desi knows, I don't know how much you guys know about Wapak. It's Mercilessly Unlimited out there. There's some great people down there. And Desi knew the lady that run the place, and they needed some help. And there's some part-time help. And we talked to him, and she let me come in. She knew everything about me. She knows everything about me. She's a great woman. I love the girl. She gave me a job, and I was doing 3 days a week and it's really worked out super awesome because I could do my counseling. I can still do that, and I can get to the meetings because I was like super pumped about getting to meetings. Even though I just sat there and listened, I didn't say much, but I listened. So I did that, and I worked with crazy bunch of women out there. Love them to death. They made me laugh every day. Every day and I would help people. I'd see people coming into the food bank, and I would help them, and it felt good. It felt nice. That I was almost that person. I did sleep in a park. Slept, like I said, couch surfing, all that stuff. Slept on a friend's garage or porch. They didn't. Her son didn't agree with me, and of course, probably about 5. I don't know what the hell, but I worked with them for about a year, I think, and then I felt a little more comfy that I was ready to get back to work, and I have great support. I have Desi. I can for anything. Desi helps me out, anything at all. And I know I can call that man right there anytime, and I got that man back there. I can call him anytime. I know that, and I felt strong that I went out and did full time. I got a job at Honda down at the engine plant, and I've been doing great down there. We I actually got my first house. That's when we moved to Salina. It was funny because we was trying to get closer to Anna, and we moved farther away. Salina was the first house we seen, and we compared everything to that house that we saw, and so we just bought it. And it kept me out to the group. It kept me out here, and I do a lot of work. I get a lot of overtime, and I do a lot of work. So I'm not getting as many meetings as I can. And I don't know, that day that I was frustrated and annoyed by every little thing. I don't get why. I just was. I go to Tuesday meeting and this meeting. It's my main thing. And I missed Tuesday the past couple of weeks actually. Uh, I don't know if maybe you're not getting to the meetings, not being around you guys. You guys, I feel comfy around you guys. That made me think. Andrea out in Montezuma asked me one time if she could. She asked why, because I did a lot of service work with uh, with AA and mainly the Tuesday group, the Giving Hope, Living Hope. Out there, I did a lot, and Andrea asked me why I keep doing what you keep doing. Why you doing this? Why you keep into this? She's talking at some conference or something. I don't know. I said, I don't. The first thing that popped in my head is I'm comfortable. I'm just comfortable around all you guys. I feel great around you guys. I feel like I can talk to you guys, even though again I hate talking, especially Memorial Weekend that there'd be like 5 people here. But I'm comfortable. You guys. I feel like I can talk to even my rock. I feel like I can talk to you guys more than I can talk to anybody. And if I needed anything, I could talk to you guys. I don't know what I'm talking about. I just love you guys. And you guys gave me 3 years, and I think it's about 27 days of the happiest that I've been, truly been. 'Cause I always thought liquor made me happy, and it did make me happy. But you guys did everything for me, and I guess that's why I'm up here. It's because you got to share and get outside yourself, and maybe somebody gets something. Because I get something every time I hear somebody speak. I can relate to everything, and I don't know, the program is great. And I did it about 5 minutes left, baby. I ran my mouth for a while, didn't I? You guys are awesome, and thank you for 3 years of being my friend, 3 years of help keep me sober, and just being there. And that's another thing. I'm sorry. We do so much. It's like, I heard everybody say, I didn't want to quit drinking because what am I going to do? And I thought the same thing. What the hell am I going to do? I can't do nothing without drinking. I can't. I used to go to a lot of football games, a lot of NFL games, Buckeyes. I would always drink on the way there, and it's like, what am I going to do? I can't drink. Me and Desi went to a Buckeye game, had a ball, drink coffee. It took us forever to find that coffee at the shoe, but we found some coffee. And our little district, our group out here does so much. Just like Gary's just talking about, the Pine Lake is stinking awesome. It's a great time. Past couple years we've been to it. Kevin's, I can't wait for that. Kevin's Fire, awesome. It's a great time. We had I don't know, Brad found anybody out there at St. Mary's, did a couple years of our picnic. I told Brad I didn't want to do it because I just got tired of doing it. I don't know, I just didn't feel like doing it. I don't know if anybody's doing it or not, I don't know, but we do a lot of great stuff today. The bowling, all this stuff is a ball, and I love it. I look forward to it, and it's so much fun. We're a fun group of ex-drunks. It's great. I love it. And I'm going to quit talking because I'm rambling. I thank you guys so much.
That's a good message. Time takes time. You didn't get sick overnight, you're not going to get well overnight. Take it one day at a time. It's funny how God works in your life. He puts things in your life just when the time you need them. Like working at the grocery store, and then He put Honda in your life, and never brought up to buy yourself a lawnmower. I mean, you come a long way.
I have pictures.
But see, we are impatient people. We want everything right now. Look where in hell it came from. You got your whole life ahead of you. And for one drink, you can lose all that shit. Eating yourself what you put your daughter through. Well, that's your past. You can't do nothing about that. But look how your daughter feels about you now. See? Go out and drink. Go out and take that drink. You'll break her heart. Don't think you won't. So you got to walk yourself through all this stuff, And I don't know. You're a good person. And I'm always there. I just don't chase people because nobody chases me. I go to meet because I know where I'm at, And you got a lot to share with people. See, we all do. We all have a story, And yet get sick and tired of being sick and tired, And at Woodhaven, I found out people go through Woodhaven, they're all right as long as they follow through with what they're taught. But when they get out of Woodhaven, they don't follow through. It's following through with these meetings. You see a fellowship grow around you. That's what you see. Jim, Kevin, we see a fellowship grow around us. All these people wasn't here when I got here. They came about. So just be patient. You're worth it, Paul. You're a good human being. You are. I'll open it up for anybody who wants to make a comment.
Yeah, I'm Tom Alcoholic. Just keep giving these leads, man. You'll get through your
Keep it up, you get slapped.
I'm Andrew, recovering alcoholic.
Andrew.
I want to thank you, Paul, for sharing with us. I'm always love to hear you and see you at meetings, and yeah, it's always interesting to see people that come from basically the same community you came from. I just love to see you around. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. I'm Al. I'm an alcoholic.
Yeah.
Now, Paul, it's good. One of these days you'll retire and you'll be able to get to the meetings. I can make 12 a week now. And have plenty of time to plan them out here. You know? I mean, I've been busy as heck since I retired.
You're always
You'll be able to make the meetings there. And
That's what I'm thriving for.
it's 2 ways to stay sober friend there. Don't drink, don't die. You become an old timer, and we can have a long time of friendship with sobriety. I can't even say that word. That's all.
Thanks, Al.
I'm Ted, I'm an alcoholic.
Hey, Ted.
Hey, Paul, Gary's right, you're a super good guy. Since I got to know you, and Desi, I mean, you're both great people, and you know, just keep doing the right thing. You've done a great job. You know, it was coming from the heart, I can tell, and the thing is we love you too, Paul, so.
Steve, alcoholic.
Steve.
Good lead. Pizza from CJ's.
I'm not lying, it's crazy.
Since when does restaurants make deliveries to the local jail? I don't know. I'll tell you what, Paul, I enjoyed your lead. And, well, and like I said, everybody that comes into this program gets here in different ways. Sometimes you have to be knocked on your ass so much that eventually it's like, do I really want to keep doing this shit? Well, it's obvious you just didn't want to learn until you realized you were going to lose some same damn thing with me. I realized one thing: if I didn't finish that rehab program, I was going to probably be out of the military. So, you know, so I completed it, went through the program, and here I am. I'm doing good. I'm doing fine. I'm sober today, but that's just today. Every day I wake up, I've got a decision to make. Do I or don't I? I choose not to. So that's the easiest thing to do. Thanks for being my friend. I'll talk to you after the meeting.
Thanks, Steve.
Jason, alcoholic.
Jason.
Yeah, I remember that meeting. Yeah,
You see,
got to
come in.
talking. Yeah, I slid in on you. I remember chatting it up, you know, meeting you and then seeing you at every meeting and becoming friends. And we don't talk a lot or see each other all the time, but I consider you a friend. And you help me kind of put words to, because I'm always like, yeah, I just always feel better after being at a meeting, or I just, you know, but you helped me put a new spin on it, and I never knew it was comfortable. Like I'm comfortable around you people. I'm comfortable in AA, and I was never comfortable around anybody unless I was drunk, and that's why I drank all the time, you know. And now I can be somewhat comfortable outside of AA, but there's times been really busy lately and don't get to a lot of meetings, and I start getting uncomfortable around people. Their uncomfort makes me uncomfortable sometimes, and got off work late tonight. I was like, man, I'm gonna get to a meeting. Casey, you were giving your lead, and I was like, man, I'm gonna be late, but I'm gonna go get comfy. So thanks for helping me do that tonight, Paul. You're late.
Thanks, Jason. Didn't even see you sneak in, buddy.
Yeah.
I'm Joni, I'm an alcoholic.
Joni.
Holy shit, buddy, I would never dreamt that about y'all, that jail stuff. You just have a very loving energy about you and caring. And I kind of picked up on that in the very beginning. And Yeah, I'm glad I came. I kinda took a detour from Allen on to here when we found out you were sharing tonight. 'Cause you're right, I don't get to hear you share a whole lot, and I wanted to hear you, and I wanna continue to hear you. So, just a little advice is I always ask my higher power to guide my words. That way I actually have somebody to blame if I mess it up. So just try that, and you know, 'cause shit, then whatever comes out ain't your fault, right? Right, and
And he asked us,
as a drunk.
yeah, you don't get the blame.
Okay, I always had to have somebody to blame. So, the other thing somebody once shared with me is, I'm like, what if I like, look, that whole humility part of, I'm no better and I'm no worse than anybody else, so, you know, I gotta quit thinking that what I'm gonna say is gonna suck, or, oh my gosh, or planning it out so, oh my gosh, I gotta wow everybody. All that is a bunch of bullshit. I just have to speak from my heart like you did tonight. And, that's all I got to give anybody is my experience, strength, and hope. So, like I said, I hope to hear you more. And I love you, brother, and thanks for being my friend.
I'm Jim, I'm an alcoholic.
Hey, Jim.
Thanks, Paul. Yeah, I wanted to come hear you talk, because I wanted to get to know you better. It was nice. It was nice to learn about you like that. And all of us took bumpy roads on the way out in here, man. I don't know that anybody had a smooth 4-lane highway coming in here. But yeah, so, and it's good to, you know, it's good to be soft-spoken. I tell you this, every time I've heard you talk, I always perk up and make sure I listen, because I know that you're going to talk from your heart. I can tell that about you. And a really smart guy, because I didn't want to tell my story much when I came back in this time. I thought my story was just going to tell people how not to do it. And a really smart guy told me, he said, I think we find the value of our story when we tell it. He said, so to tell your story as good as you anyway. You're going to want to know it. So thanks for telling it tonight. Thanks, Jim. Good job.
Thanks, Jim.
I'm Brad, I'm not calling.
Hey, Brad.
Paul, I want to thank you for getting up there and sharing your story. I've heard you your first time you got up there. And I think it was a little longer this time. I think your first one was a little short.
I'm 4'19" inches.
You know, you talked about it, and that you could call me anytime. And you know, like a year ago, I had some health issues and stuff, and wasn't allowed to drive. And I was a little concerned, like, how am I going to get to meetings and stuff? And you jumped right up and said, "I'll take you." You know, and you come and got me and took me. Well, Desi did, but
Yeah,
yeah. I don't think you were allowed to drive a vehicle. But I think you did take me in your car one time, that little Toyota thing or whatever. We went somewhere. You know, then the other week you had some vehicle problems and she was out of town. You called me. Yeah, I don't have a problem stopping by and picking you up. And I got to, you know, that I don't know how many months that was. You guys hauled me around, but I got to know you a lot better then. You know, we chatted and stuff, and I really consider you a friend, Paul. And I know I can count on you. Just keep coming around.
too, brother. Thanks,
Yeah.
Brad.
Thanks, Brad.
Anybody else?
David, alcoholic. Just good lead, glad I made it tonight. That's all I got.
Thanks, Jim.
That's a good message. I always tell people if my friends would treat me as bad as I treat myself, they wouldn't be my friends. That's an inside job, you know. And one of the best things when somebody told me years ago is, don't worry about what people think of you, because he said very seldom do they. That's all. Paul, close the meeting up, will you?
Trying to get moving. Paul?
Who kept us sober today?
Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, power, and glory forever. Amen.
Keep coming
back.
back.
We're working. Good. Good to see you.
So good.
Did you have your dog? Huh? How are you?
No,
Oh, no, I may not have.
Rain tomorrow night, cold.
Yeah, you
Nice
never
ones.
know.
We've had a couple
Memorial
nice
Day
ones.
is
Hi,
always
Jim.
hit and miss.
Yeah, we've just had a couple nice ones the last 3 or 4
Okay.
days.
Kowski went around early. Good seeing you.
Let's go, Jim.
Alright, hey Paul. You a back road guy still on?
I don't know how it started. Started back here.
It's back up, it's being enforced.
There you go. I knew some paper somewhere that you were relieved tonight, Paul.
Newspaper. Did you hear Jim? I didn't think you did.
I read in the newspaper that you were giving your leave tonight, so we wanted to know.
Hey,
Trouble's in the house.
how you doing?
Thanks for letting us know you're here. Yep.
How's your delicate condition?
Hmm?
How's your delicate condition? Jesus, sound like a clown.
Don't like things cold outside.
Cold.
Well,
Nice out.
for this time of the year, it's not supposed to be. It's not supposed to be a high of 57 during the day. But I ain't complaining about it.
Hey, Dave. Good to see you.
Good to see you.
You doing it, Dwayne?
That's rolling. Calms down.
It's good that Mountain Dew doesn't explode, huh?
Donating to the Dwayne Bruce Fund. Oh, he's gonna donate. In case you didn't know, he's gonna buy everybody supper and lunch tonight.
I'm tired of talking out of your ass.
No, I'm not.
Get off my lawn.
I'm Gary, an alcoholic. I'd like to welcome everyone here to the Friday night group of Alcoholics Anonymous. Those who wish will be meeting with serenity prayer. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and wisdom to know the difference. The preamble. Alcoholics Anonymous is a fellowship of men and women who share their experience, strength, and hope with each other, that they may solve their common problem and help others to recover from alcoholism. The only requirement for membership is a desire to stop drinking. There are no dues or fees for AA membership. We are self-supporting through your own contributions. AA is not allied with any sect, denomination, politics, organization, or institution. It does not wish to engage in any controversy. Neither endorses nor opposes any causes. Our primary purpose is to stay sober and help other alcoholics achieve sobriety. I've asked Tom to read how it works.
Tom, alcoholic. Rarely we see a person fail who has thoroughly fought our path. Those who do not recover, people who cannot or will not completely give themselves to this simple program. Usually men and women who are constitutionally incapable of being honest with themselves. Not our such unfortunate, not a fault, they simply know that. They are naturally incapable of grasping and developing a manner of living which demanded honesty. Their chances are less than average. There are those too who suffer from grave emotional mental disorders, but many of them do recover if they have the capacity to be honest. Our stories disclose in a general way what we used to be like, what happened, and what we're like now. If you decide you want what we have and are willing to learn to get it, then you're ready to take certain steps. And some of these we balked. We thought we could find easier, softer way, but we cannot. With all the earnestness of our demand, we beg you to be fearless and thorough from the very start. Some of us try to hold on to old ideas, and it's always nil until we let go absolutely. Remember that we deal with alcohol, cunning, baffling, powerful. Without help, it's too much for us. But there is one who has all power, that one is God. May you find him now. Half a million availed us nothing. Withstood the turning point, we asked his protection and care, we completely abandoned. Here are the steps we took, which are suggested as a program of recovery. 1. We admitted we were powerless over alcohol, and our lives had become unmanageable. 2. Came to believe that a power greater than ourselves could restore us to sanity. 3. Made a decision to turn our will and our lives into the care of God as we understood him. 4. Made a searching and fearless moral inventory of ourselves. 5. Admitted to God, to ourselves, and to another human being the exact nature of our own. 6. Are entirely ready to have God remove all these defects of character. 7, humbly ask him to remove our shortcomings. 8, made a list of all persons who had harmed and became willing to make amends to them all. 9, make direct amends to such people wherever possible, except when to do so would injure them or others. 10, continue to make personal inventory and remove wrong from amended. 11, sought through prayer and meditation to improve our conscious contact with God as we understood Him, praying only for the knowledge of His will for us and the power to carry that out. Step 12, having had a spiritual awakening as a result of these steps, we tried to carry this message to alcoholics and to practice these principles in all our affairs. Many of us exclaim over and over, I can't go through with it. Do not be discouraged. No one among us has been able to maintain anything like perfect adherence to these principles. We're not saints. The point is that we want to grow on our spiritual life. The principles we have set down are guides to progress. We claim spiritual progress rather than spiritual perfection. Our description of the alcoholic, the chapter to the agnostic, and our personal adventures before and after make clear 3 permanent ideas. A, that we were alcoholic and could not manage our own lives. B, that probably no human power could relieve our alcoholism. And C, that God could move through us all.
Thank you, Tom. I'll ask Dwayne to read the traditions.
Dwayne's an alcoholic.
Hey, Dwayne.
12 traditions of Alcoholics Anonymous. 1, our common welfare should come first. Personal recovery depends upon AA unity. 2, for our group purpose, there is but one ultimate authority, a loving God as He may express Himself in our group conscience. Our leaders are but trusted servants, they do not govern. 3, the only requirement for AA membership is the desire to stop drinking. 4, each group should be autonomous except in matters affecting other groups or AA as a whole. 5, each group has but one primary purpose, to carry its message to the alcoholic who still suffers. 6, an AA group ought never endorse, finance, or lend the AA name to any related facility or outside enterprise. These problems of money, property, and prestige divert us from our primary purpose. 7, every AA group ought to be fully self-supporting, declining outside contributions. 8, Alcoholics Anonymous should remain forever non-professional, but our service centers may employ special workers. 9, AA as such ought never be organized, but we may create service boards or committees directly responsible to those they serve. 10, Alcoholics Anonymous has no opinion on outside issues, hence the AA name ought never be drawn into public controversy. 11, our public relations policy is based on attraction rather than promotion. We need always maintain personal anonymity at the level of press, radio, and films. And 12, anonymity is the spiritual foundation of all of our traditions and remind us to place principles before personality.
Thank you, Dwayne. Ask Andrew to read the promises.
I'm Andrew, recovering alcoholic.
Andrew.
The promises. A spiritual life is not a theory we have to live it. Unless one's family experienced a desire to live upon spiritual principles, we think we ought not to urge them. We should not talk incessantly to them about spiritual matters. They will change in time. Our behavior will convince them more than our words. We must remember that 10 or 20 years of drunkenness would make a skeptic out of anyone. There may be some wrongs we can never fully right. We don't worry about them if we can honestly say to ourselves that we would right them if we could. Some people cannot be seen. We send them an honest letter, and there may be a valid reason for postponement. In some case, but we do not, don't delay if it can be avoided. We should be sensible, tactful, considerate, and humble without being severely or skeptical. As God people, we stand on our feet. We don't crawl before anyone. If we are painstaking about this phase of our development, we will be amazed before we are halfway through. We are going to know a new freedom and a new happiness. We will not regret the past nor wish to shut the door on it. We will comprehend the word serenity and we will know peace. No matter how far down the scale we are going, we will see how our experience can benefit others. That feeling of usefulness and self-pity will disappear. We will lose interest in selfish things and gain interest in ourselves. Self-seeking will slip away. Our whole attitude and outlook upon life will change. Fear of people and of economic insecurity will leave us. We will institutionally know how to handle situations which used to baffle us. We will suddenly realize that God is doing for us what we could not do for ourselves. Are these extravagant promises? They are being fulfilled among us, sometimes quickly, sometimes slowly. They will always materialize if we work for them.
Thank you, Andrew. I've asked Ted to read the reflections.
I'm Ted, I'm an
Hey,
alcoholic.
Ted.
Spiritual health. When the spiritual malady is overcome, we straighten out mentally and physically. Alcoholics Anonymous, page 64. It is very difficult for me to come to terms with my spiritual illness because of my great pride, disguised by my material success and my intellectual power. Intelligence is not incomparable with humility, provided I place humility first. To seek prestige and wealth is the ultimate goal for many in this modern world. To be fashionable and to seem better than I really am is a spiritual illness. To recognize and to admit my weaknesses is the beginning of good spiritual health. It is a sign of spiritual health to be able to ask God every day to enlighten me, to recognize His will, and to have the strength to execute it. My spiritual health is excellent when I realize that the better I get, the more I discover how much help I need from others.
Thank you, Ted. I've asked Brad to read the 24-hour book.
Hi everybody, I'm Brad, I'm an alcoholic.
Brad.
This is May 23rd. The 12th step of AA, working with others, can be subdivided into 5 parts. 5 words beginning with the letter C. Confidence, confession, conviction, conversion, and continuance. The first thing in trying to help other alcoholics is to get their confidence. We do this by telling them our own experience with drinking, so that they see we know what we're talking about. If we share our experience frankly, they will know that we are sincerely trying to help them. They will realize that they are not alone and that others have had experiences as bad or worse than theirs. This gives them confidence that they can be helped. Do I care enough about other alcoholics to get their confidence? Meditation of the day. I fail not so much when tragedy happens as I did before the happening. By all the little things I might have done, but did not do. I must prepare for the future by doing the right thing at the right time now. If a thing should be done, I should deal with that thing today and get it right with God before I allow myself to undertake any new duty. I should look upon myself as performing God's errands and then continuing back to Him to tell Him in quiet communion that the message has been delivered or task done. Prayer for today. I pray that I may seek no credit for the results of what I do. I pray that I may leave the outcome of my actions to God.
Thank you, Brad.
Brad.
Here in Coldwater, we have the token system. I've asked my friend Jorge to give out tokens.
Jorge, alcoholic.
Jorge.
Here at Coldwater, we hand out a token for different lengths of sobriety. We start these tokens like it's suggested, and we work a program 24 hours at a time. Is there anyone they starting out, they coming back, they need a 24-hour token? 1 to 3 months, 4 to 7 months, 8 to 11 months, a year, 18 months. Is any year there or after? Does anyone have any time they want to recognize? We all have today. Give yourself a high power at home.
All right. Here in Coldwater, we encourage sponsorship and get in a home group. If you're interested in getting in a home group or a sponsor, see a home group member after the meeting. If you have any questions, all our home group members, raise your hands. All right. Also, next week, the KSC is having a picnic back here, so you won't be able to go through the back door. So you have to go through this front door and park across the street. Then Steve will be chairing, and Donnie Ring will be giving his the lead, and he'll go picking up his 36-year token. All right. As far as announcements, July 12th, they have a pine thing at Pine Lake, Indiana. It's in Bern, so there'll be a flyer out on that. All right. Founders Day is June the 14th, 2005. Starts at 5:30. Elm Church of Nazarene, Trent West Elm Street. It's the Italian style carry-in dishes provided. Bring a covered dish. All right. Also, the 35th annual Old Timers meeting will be June 18th. That's in Leipzig, Ohio. That starts at doors open at 5:30. Eat at 6:30. Meetings at 7:30. They'll furnish the hot dogs and the coffee and lemonade and water. Bring a covered dish. Also, the Indian Lake Care Group 14th anniversary, August the 16th, 121 South Orchid Island Road, Russell's Point, Ohio. Guest speaker will be Tom F. Doors open at 5:30, dinners at 3, leads at 7, 50-50 drawing. Door prize, bring a covered dish and a friend. Also, this group will be celebrating their 43rd or 44th anniversary on October the 5th. That's on a Sunday, so got a little time on that yet. Also, there's a district meeting, I think June the 9th. Starts at 1:15 at the place where we meet in Salina at Jabez House. That's for GSRs, alternate GSRs, and anybody who's interested in service. All right. Any other announcements? All right. The guy who got a lead tonight is a real good friend of mine. I think I've heard him one time. He don't say much, but he's always there, you know. And it's come a long way, you know.